Hey everyone, it's Tammy at Walnut Creek Bath Boutique. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a bit of a test for me. So earlier today I made a soap for the Soap Challenge Club, which I think ended up being a disaster, and I don't think I'm going to be posting that video. It was bad. But anyway, I ended up using the recipe off of the Challenge Club website because it was supposed to be like a slow moving recipe. So I gave that a try, and I used black ice from Aztec Candle Soap and Supply. That soap took about 7 to 10 minutes to come to a thin trace. It was crazy. I stirred, I stick blend, I stirred, I stick blend, I walked away, I came back. It was just so crazy how long. And it is so that fragrance really decelerated the acceleration. And I got to thinking, my current soap recipe that I love, I do struggle sometimes with my soap getting too thick too fast. And I'm thinking maybe it's my recipe more than the fragrance. Sometimes I like blame the fragrances. Maybe it's more my recipe. And you know, I can look at those numbers all day long. I can look at the fatty acid profile and kind of do all of that. And I could do that and I could kind of get a feel for it. But I really think a real world, real life test may be something that would be good for me to experience. So I'm going to use that same Aztec black ice in my standard goat milk soap recipe. So I'm going to kind of see the difference between that fragrance in what would be considered a slow moving recipe and that fragrance in my recipe, which I would consider kind of middle of the road in the acceleration. So we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it. It's just a fun little test, so I hope you stick around to watch. And yeah, let's get to it. My kaolin clay is in here. I'm going to go ahead and add my goat milk. And I'm going to blend this up. Sorry, I can't think all of a sudden. I really just want to make sure that that kaolin clay that I have in here and the goat milk is well incorporated before I add my lye water. I'm soaping at about 100, which is a little bit warmer than I normally would. Okay, I need to go way off and get my fragrance oil. I'm going to use my goat milk soap, container. I'm running out of containers. This smells so clean. I think someone said it was a like a car freshener. They acted like I was crazy that I'd never heard of it. Okay, I had to write down. I was about 3/4 of an ounce shy on my fragrance oil, so my inventory was off just a little bit. That's about as much as I would normally stick blend it. I don't stick blend as much as I used to. There was a time when I was just, you know, when you first start, I think it's one of those things that are, it's easy to over stick blend your soap batter. And honestly, when I first started learning to make soap, everything that I made, all these like recipes online and everything, they would always say stick blend to medium trace or stick blend to thin trace. And that's just what you did. You always, or that's what I did. All of the recipes that I was looking at, they would say that. So I'm so thankful for YouTubers that, you know, kind of taught me to just stick blend to emulsion and you don't have to go so far as to a trace. So in here I have Blue Vibrance from Nurture soap. I have Orange Vibrance from Nurture and I'm using apple green mica from Micas and More. And I realized that I had never put these colors together, and when I was trying to come up with a combination or a color combination, I thought, I'm gonna do this. This seems very fun to me. I don't know. I think I'm just maybe gonna do like a drop swirl with a hanger. I don't want to go too far. With mostly white. I have my white made up here. Anymore with my titanium dioxide, I've tried all different ways of doing it. I just mix it with hot water and use it as I need it. I've tried, you know, to use it to make a big bottle and shake it with the little nuts or bolts or whatever, and that doesn't really work for me. I didn't care for that. So when I was using this fragrance oil earlier today, it was the craziest thing because I would stick blend it, and it would feel like it was thickening up on me finally, and then I would stir it and it would be really loose. It was the oddest thing. Like right now, it's really pretty loose still. I'll color code these two spatulas. It's nice. Still pretty loose. I think it's thicker than, especially the ones with the colors in them. They're definitely thicker. The white, for some reason, seems not as thick, and it has the TD in it. You know, it's still very loose. Maybe this wasn't the best fragrance oil to test this with, because it is a decelerating fragrance, clearly. That being said, I think I'm not going to have 7 to 10 minutes like I did with that other recipe. That's why it's really hard to look at reviews and see people say, oh, it accelerated, it was, you know, really thick, really fast. It is so dependent on the recipe that it's kind of difficult to trust some of the reviews that you get to read. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate reviews and I read them, but anymore I read them as a whole instead of just letting one person sway me that says it made their batter accelerate, because I want to see if that's a trend through multiple reviews. If some people say that it didn't accelerate at all, then that tells me that, yeah, the recipe really, for the other reviews, could play a role in that. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I don't know. All right, I'm going to pour. That was definitely starting to thicken up on me. I'm right-handed it. It's probably not the best thing to do. Hanger swirl in here. Just to hair tie. It's still very fluid, but it's still very thick too. Or I mean, it's still thicker than it was in that previous soap batter. Make it pretty. Oh gosh, this is so pretty. I'm just gonna stop. Oh gosh, can you see that? It is so pretty. Get some alcohol on it. All right, guys, I'm gonna put this in the oven and let it heat the oven to 170. Put this in there, turn the oven off, turn the light on, and let it set until tomorrow. But I just think this is so, so pretty. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, let me turn on my other light so you can see a little bit better. Is that a little bit better? Okay. I think it's really pretty. Oh, shoot. Oh, let me get my thing out here. Oh, guys, look how pretty. One of my wishes for this year was to buy a different log splitter. The kind that sits on your tabletop and you can, that was kind of like on my wish list, the big tabletop ones. But, you know, sometimes, the more I think about it, I mean, that just takes up so much room. Let me see where we're at here. I want to make sure. Yeah, that looks about right. All right. I'm super excited about this soap. I just think the colors were so pretty. Oh gosh, look. Oh, I love it. Loving it. I tell you what, the camera or the battery on this camera dies so fast. I can't keep up with it. You know, I can't complain because I knew it was going to happen. Oh, I like that. I knew it was going to happen. I mean, it was part of the reviews said the battery was not very good. But still. That one has a lot of green in it. That's pretty. Really happy with it. Let me smell one. Let me smell this sample. And I really like the scent. Well, that was the center one. So that was the center bar. I forgot to take a picture before I cut them into bars. I want to start doing that because I think that looks really pretty on social media. And I just don't. I forget. Oh, all right, guys. Here they are. I think they turned out so pretty. So pretty. The top looks so pretty. I'm really loving these colors. I'm so glad I ended up doing the blue and orange and then just kind of threw green in there. Almost like a last second, I threw the green in there in my plan. But I think they turned out really pretty. What I learned about my recipe isn't much. I mean, I don't think it was a very good test, right? Because it was such a slow-moving recipe that I think I need to do it again with maybe a different fragrance oil. I did find that my recipe did have the soap traced a lot quicker with my recipe than the other recipe. But I still had plenty of time with this soap. So yes, I think my recipe is speeding up my trace, but how bad is it speeding up my trace? I really can't decide with such a fragrance oil that decelerates trace. I need to find a different fragrance oil. Maybe I'll do this again in a couple months. Maybe I'll do like my 2 9-bar molds and do like almost side-by-side comparison. Same color, same temperature, same everything. And I think that will be a better test for me in this whole like real life experience. What I'm looking for is how different is my recipe? How much is my recipe affecting my trace? I will say that I used my same lye water concentration in the other soap. So I didn't use their lye water, everything. I do a 2-to-1 lye water, and that's what I did for both soaps. So that it wasn't my lye water concentration that was the difference. But anyway, I really love how these turned out. I think they're really super pretty. And I like the smell. I still have to come up with a name. I don't know what I'm going to name it. Not black. It's too clean for black ice. Or if that's the, it's too clean. It's a very clean scent. I like it. I don't know that it's manly, but it's very, I would say it's a clean unisex scent. I really, really like it. Really like the scent. So anyway, yeah, there it is. I will try to have a name by the time I put this up. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.